raise your hand for the question. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, Tom. This is Mush Khan. Commiserations on the loss. I would like to rather know your perspective on, because this was Peshawar's first match away from, they have been playing a lot of cricket in Pindi, but this was the first match here in Karachi. What changes did you, feel in terms of the pitch conditions, in terms of the environment? And I really want to know your perspective on this.
Yeah, the pitch was definitely a lot different. There was a lot more up and down and sideways movement off the wicket, so I felt actually we got ourselves a competitive score, and I felt we were right in the game, obviously all the way to the last over. So I think it was a great game of cricket. Very, very different to Pindi, where it's flat and you almost feel like you need 200, 220 to win every time. But it was a great game of cricket, and obviously there's a loser. Sadly, that's us this game, but I felt it was a really entertaining game of cricket and a great game to be part of.
Tom, where do you say the match went out of Peshawar Zalmi's hand, and was giving Hassan Ahmed the last over a big mistake?
Who else would you have bowled the last over? Can you tell me?
By mistake, because you could have used him before in the 12th over or 13th over.
But then if they did that, they may have been way ahead. So the tactics for me were completely right. We were trying to leave as many as possible, because it was always going to be a low-scoring, thrilling game. It was always trying to leave him as many as possible. I think both innings, we have little areas that we can work on. I felt like with the bat, we could have got probably 10, 15 more if we were really, really on today. And in the field, we could have kind of probably done a tiny bit better as well. But I felt like from a percentage of a game, we played, I'd say, 90% of a really good game there, and just had a couple little areas where we let it get away from us. But I think it was just a great game of cricket on a difficult pitch. And I also think the way David Warner batted tonight kind of anchored them and allowed them to kind of get really close. And if someone scores 60 on a chase like that, you're always going to be under pressure, and I felt like he batted really well tonight.
Tom, you guys reached Karachi yesterday. Don't you think that it was a tough decision for you guys just coming over one day before the match? You don't have training the other day. You just came today morning and have the pitch look. So it's been difficult for you guys to just come here and play on a particularly different pitch from the Pindi.
No, not really. We obviously played the night before as well in Rawalpindi. So you've got a travel day. So you're travelling all day yesterday anyway, so there's no option for us to train. But we're professional cricketers. We've played on pitches like that before. We've played on flat pitches. We've played on spinning pitches. So we're all good enough to be able to come in and adapt. And it definitely wasn't the pitch's fault tonight why we lost, or preparation. I felt like it was just a small couple margins where if the game goes either way, just as one where there was the LBW that we didn't review that went for 4. If we reviewed it and got the wicket, then we could have been defending 13 off the last over, and it could have been a different story. But as games go, when you score 140 and you nearly defend it, it's always going to be a tight game. And sadly, we just come on the wrong side of it tonight.
Tom, you are playing a lot of franchise cricket, T20, T10 league throughout the world, playing PSL since 2022 regularly. Which thing makes PSL different from most other leagues? If I ask you one biggest quality in your, what do you say about the PSL's biggest quality?
I think it's the fast bowlers. They just seem to come from everywhere, and in the nets you've got all the net bowlers who are just as quick and trying to hit you in the head every time. So yeah, for me, definitely the standard of bowling out here is amazing. The atmosphere is amazing, the support, the food, the crowds, everything about coming here I really enjoy. But the one standout thing I think has to be the fast bowlers.
Tom, obviously there is a usual perception that high-scoring games are important for any franchise league's success and progress. But games like this, where every single run counts and every single run matters, how do you guys enjoy, and what do you think such low-scoring thrillers are also important? Like if there are 34 matches, so a couple of matches should be like this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think close cricket matches are what people want to watch. Personally, obviously the 2 losses we've had at Rawalpindi were by roughly about 100 runs each game, and most of the games at Rawalpindi have not been very good contests, whereas tonight I felt like it was a really good contest and a really great game to be a part of. And I felt like if I was watching that game, you'd have been engaged, where like our last game at Rawalpindi where we won by 120 runs, I think you can see you've lost. Like the batting team, they lost so many wickets early that it was kind of, they were never going to get close. So for me, close games are what I want to watch when I'm watching cricket, not 220 plays 150. So yeah, playing in games like that, it really gets your emotions going as a player. And it really kind of pumps you up. And I know if we won that game, it would have felt a lot better than the game we beat Multan, because of how comfortable it was. Whereas that one, I've never seen Woody that fired up in a game, because it was so close and the passion comes out in closer games. Whereas when you're comfortably winning, you can kind of almost cruise through.
Tom, tell me, in the middle overs, Karachi Kings spinners bowled brilliantly, just like Khurjil Shah and Nabi. Nabi keeper was announced, but they bowled brilliantly and contained the Peshawar Zalmi batting. And on the other hand, if we talk about Peshawar Zalmi, so their spinners left lines in the middle overs. Don't you think this score was 147 can be defended by you? And you also tell me, you talk about the fast bowling of PSL. So what about you about the young sensation of Pakistan and Iran, because you played in the net as well?
So I felt our spinners were amazing as well tonight. I felt like we really put a lot of pressure in that middle period, and then I felt they played 2 really good shots to Syme that made 1 over go for 10. Apart from that, I felt like he bowled that over really well, so I definitely don't think there's any blame towards our spinners, and I felt like we did a great job to actually stay in the game. And then Ali Raza, great character, and he's so talented, especially for his age. The speeds he's bowling and the consistency and how he stands up in pressure, in the pressure moments, for me is kind of something to really look forward to seeing him kind of play on the international stage, because he's got all the attributes to definitely do it.
Hi, Tom. Tom, 3 losses out of 4, not the ideal start for the tournament. Started with 2 big losses, and looked like Peshawar Zalmi is struggling for the combination as well. But everything fell into place in the 3rd game. Big win, a close game here as well. So do you think the final or the ideal combination Peshawar has found, and then Babar was under the scanner, he got amongst the runs as well? So you think that that's the right combination and Peshawar is in the right frame to go forward in the tournament, or there are still any tweaks to be done, and what would that be?
I think there's always tweaks to potentially be done. Every game, every pitch, every conditions is slightly different, but I know for this game we were 100% confident in the 11 we selected, and going forward I know that I don't think there's anyone in the team that you're looking over going, oh, what's their form like? Everyone's contributed with the bat. We just need to kind of do it as a collective a little bit more. I felt like every game we've almost had a couple standout individuals instead of 2 or 3 guys chipping in and being able to get big scores. But yeah, for me, I think over the course of a tournament, your team evolves. Even if you are winning every game, it still will change. So I'm sure over the next 6 games, we'll have some more changes at some point. I don't know who it will be. I don't know what it will look like, but we might get to Lahore and it might look like it's going to spin a lot more. So you're going to bring in an extra spinner. You don't know what's going to happen or what's around the corner. But tonight I felt like we had a great 11 on the pitch. I felt like everyone's there to contribute and everyone actually played a decent game, but sadly it just wasn't good enough tonight.
Thank you.
Last question.
So,
Okay. Tom, this is just the start of this PSL. I mean, lots more matches to come. Don't you feel like these pitches should be a bit more suitable for the batsmen? Like people love to, watch the 6s, 4s, and high-scoring games. Don't you feel that in the near future games, the pitches should be a bit more suitable for the batsmen?
I think you've just got to play on whatever pitch is delivered. It wasn't there was still 300 runs pretty much scored on the evening. If we batted a little bit better, I reckon we could have got to 160 maybe. And I think for me, anywhere between 150 and 180 is normally the better games to watch, because it keeps it gives the bowlers a chance, whereas when when it's 220, it just feels like it's a bloodbath for the bowlers, and no matter where they bowl, it seems to go to the boundary. So for me, somewhere between 160 and 180 are normally really entertaining games for me to personally sit and watch as a fan. I enjoy playing in those. Obviously, selfishly, I love playing in high-scoring games and I score loads of runs. But yeah, for me, I want to play in I want to play in good games of cricket, and if it's a thriller where it's 240 plays 240, that's great. But also tonight, I felt was a great game of cricket, and credit to Karachi.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.